Hey everyone, welcome back to God's Vibes Gals. I'm Nicole Adario Demotica, and I'm here with Susie, and I'll let her introduce herself. But we are some of the OGs that we say in Courage Co. And we have been kind of picking and pulling apart some really cool stuff over the past several weeks and months for all of those older podcasts to become new to the new people in Courage Co. And we are just so excited about this. Susie and I have a blast, as you will see. So, Susie, take it away.
I am Susie Sharplow, and as well an OG, as Nicole said,
Mhm.
which means basically I've been in Courage Co. since January of 23
Yes, and I
and
and I was coaching with Juliana like
prior.
all of 2022. So I
Yeah.
met her in 2021. So like OG, the original gangsters.
Which, yeah.
I
So this
love it.
episode we are reviewing was May 11th, 2020.
Yes, in the height of COVID.
Yeah, that's
And how
right.
timely, Susie, we'll probably talk about this throughout, but how timely these older episodes are, even still, because God's word is always relevant, whether it's 2020 or 2025 or beyond. So this is really fun. So like she said, we're going to be doing episode 7 today, and I really loved this because I retitled it Opa!
Opa! Which I thought was German, coming from a German town. We do the Oktoberfest in September. And they're always Opa. And I'm like, oh.
No, it's actually a Greek word, which we were just talking about. And it's Joppa, but we only have one P, so we can still call it Oppa. And the
Yeah.
J is usually silent. So just not to throw anybody off. And that's really an acronym. And that's kind of what she gets into for us to easily remember the principles that she's teaching in this. So, Susie, what were some of your takeaways from this episode?
Um, okay, so she referenced a few Bible verses,
Oh,
and
yes.
uh I had it pulled up and then the first one was one of them was Nehemiah 8:10, and because the title of this, other than you and I retitled
Yeah,
it,
we always retitle them.
The Importance of Joy, Reasons Why Joy is Necessary for Daily Life. And in Nehemiah 8:10, sorry, I love having a phone with
I know, same.
Nehemiah said, "Go and enjoy choice food and sweet drinks, and send some to those who have nothing prepared. This day is holy to our Lord. Do not grieve, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." And that part, the joy of the Lord is your strength.
And we all know that song from when we were
Yeah.
kids.
Yes. And it's having joy in all of our circumstances. You can choose joy even in the hard times. So that kind of is what really stuck with me. And then she goes through what OPA stands for.
Yes, and I think the J was journey. So the journey was really about embracing where you are. And I, like Juliana, did not know how to do that and enjoy the good of the moment while trying to get where you're going. And I that eluded me for a long time, as Juliana said it, did with her as well. Embrace where you are and love where you are. Get where you are to a point of you love it, and then you're going to love the whole journey of
Yeah.
where you're going because you're missing out on these good times here and now. And I know over the last couple of years of my life, I've missed out on good moments with my
Mhm.
kids just because I was so caught up in my own grief and trauma and all of that, just trying to heal. And I think she referenced, do you remember what she said about the race car driver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we're
So
focusing on.
Yeah, it's not Robbins racing and not that one. A different
Right.
racing
So,
principle. Um, so it's really about that when you focus on where you want to go, your emotion and your energy need to be channeled toward that direction, or you will what? Hit the wall, right? Like
right.
you can't look,
If
everybody's
you're
looking at the
focusing
walls
on
like, oh
that.
my God, don't hit the wall, right? And you're like, oh my God, just don't hit the wall. And the race car driver, she gives you the visual of like them turning your head to be like, okay, you're not
Yes.
supposed to look at the wall. And of course, we all tend to do the like, I don't want this, I don't want that. You're focusing on the I don't want, and you're not
Right.
focusing on the what you do want.
Right. Right. Because energy, she said, energy is um, energy where your focus goes, energy flows.
That's right.
Energy is energy in motion, emotion.
Yep.
So
Yep. The
you're
breakdown of the
you're
words.
focusing on your emotions, like such as the you know, I'm
I'm
having a
so
bad day.
X. Yes. Yes,
That's
exactly.
what,
I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so XYZ. I'm so this. I'm so that. And we don't focus on the uh, oh, okay, I see this and I acknowledge it, but that's not my life anymore. Like
right.
my life is here.
Yeah.
And so, I'm going around the track with God. I'm not going to the wall. Yes, and we're a car family, so I totally get like
Yeah.
the race
Yeah. We
analogies, which I
actually,
love.
yeah, we actually have race cars, but not the NASCAR, not the circle. We have like drag racing
Oh,
straight.
drag racing,
But
yeah.
you also got to,
We have a drag track here too.
yes. So you also have to focus on straight,
Yep,
not
yep,
hitting the wall.
yep, that's right. Yep, your eyes should be forward, not on the light.
Yes. Don't worry about the person beside you.
That's right. That's right. Run your own race.
Yes.
And then um the O is actually outcome. And I wasn't expecting that because it like outcome you would think would be like the last thing, but focusing on the outcome you really want. So like, what are, and I'm doing this with my counselor as well, is like focusing on like the what you really want in life and making that the movie in your mind so that the other stuff that doesn't fit just kind of like bumps off and like goes away. And focusing on the outcome you really want, but then more importantly, like, why do you want it? Why would that be valuable to you? How would that impact those around you? And then it's not really, because I was a victim of this too. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I have to build my life to keep the things that will infiltrate that out. And that's actually not the right method, of course, clearly, because I haven't gotten where I want to go yet. It's actually closing the faith gap versus closing the fear gap.
Yes.
So
Love that.
talk to us a little bit about that. What are you thinking? What did you get
Um,
there?
well, so just outcomes, uh, so for instance, having joy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just went to watch my grandkids in a Pee-wee rodeo. And normally when I've gone, because I spent the weekend over there, I'm always thinking, what do I need to get done? So normally I would bring work because
Always. I do the same thing.
and sit in the hotel room and I'm like, no. But so I didn't bring any work with me. I was present and then the kids even spent the night at the hotel with me and
Oh,
we just had
nice.
such a blast. We just laughed and giggled and read a book, and it was good because I don't see them very often. And so just not worrying about what I'm not getting done at home, but
Mm-hmm.
staying in the present. And the outcome was just joy and celebration and having fun and connecting with my grandkids. So
Love
that,
that.
yeah.
We're
And
coming. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, well, and then the other thing that I always used to do was say you plan a vacation. So all you do is you look forward to that vacation. So you're basically not in the present moment because you're just constant thinking, oh,
Yes.
when I get to that vacation, when I get this, or when I get this money or when I retire, whatever. And it's okay, but you're wishing, like, when people are like, oh, thank God it's Friday. And it's like,
Yeah.
or TGIF or whatever. And it's like, but you just wished your whole week away.
Right.
So,
Right.
um, that's kind of where, my mind was going with this is the joy in the present moment, the
Yes.
outcome, my
I
outcome.
love more of that in my life.
Yes.
I'm still not 100%, but I am getting so much
Good.
better about the not bringing the extra work with me like that. It can wait. It
Yeah.
can wait. And I think that's partly so we're coming into summer here in Boston and we don't get very much summer these days.
Yeah.
So it's funny because how you were saying like just enjoy where you are. So I actually it's funny. I have this beautiful, amazingly tricked out backyard, right? But
Right.
I never want to be in the backyard because if I lie down and like whether it's like lying out or hanging with friends or being in the pool with Lola, I'm always thinking because I'm still at my house about like the laundry that could be folded and the vacuuming that could be done or the whatever. So I always want to go elsewhere. Like, hi, can we go to your house? Because then I don't worry about my stuff. And this is the same type of thing. Like, make your life, begin to create the tools that make your life enjoyable at all turns. And yes, sometimes the laundry will need to wait. And I've thankfully learned to wait on a bunch of things. But
Yeah.
it's harder in the summer when you want to like relax a little bit more than you what might normally do. And it's like right there, like you're looking at the house and knowing that the laundry's on the other side of the door. So
Right.
it's, about closing, it's, but it's also, she talked about eliminating the negative things, which I think we've
Yes.
all done a great job of, um, just like, the knowing where social media belongs in your life. And yes, we understand that it's a means to an end, but it's just that means to the end that we're trying to get. Doesn't need to consume our life. We don't need to doom scroll. Shutting the TV off. Like
Yeah.
I work all day at home. And for me, the TV never gets turned on. I don't know about you, but that's even before I had my close relationship with Juliana and Christ. Um,
Right.
but because none of it serves me.
Right. I caught myself last night. I had something on Netflix, and
Was
next
it
thing
Sweet
I know,
Magnolias?
no.
Okay, well, I'll
Yeah,
listen to
it
that.
was, I don't even know. I honestly, I don't even know. I just turned it on for sound, I guess. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah,
And I turned it off. It was just like,
yeah.
and because I don't really have the TV on much at
Yeah,
all.
no, it never really gets turned on.
And
I
if
do
I,
every once in a while get hooked on a show, but it's like super fast and I blow through it in like
yeah.
like a week. And I'm like, okay, yep, back to my back to regularly scheduled non-programming.
And
Uh
to be all in all honesty, I think I turned it on just to like forget the day. There was
Oh, yeah. So
a little
that I
nap.
actually use that as an excuse. I mean, as a thing. And I have to try not to, I just dropped my mouse, so sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Um, so I use that. I like, watching a movie on a Friday night or something like that. I use that sometimes as a thing to kind of get out of my head because I have so much in my head, whether it's work, home, people, kids, whatever. There's enough of the things in my head that like I need to get out of my life and into somebody else's life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. But I'm
Exactly.
making different choices. I should
Yes.
say that. I happen to, like I said, was it Sweet Magnolias? So this is not a plug for them, but like, very small town,
Yes.
Christian values, like,
Values.
and so like the content that I'm picking now is more supportive of like being
Yeah.
present, enjoying the moment. And that show is all about that. So how funny.
Yeah. I like that show too.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's so funny. We're gonna pour it out. Okay. So, but just really be diligent about guarding your heart to the outcome you want, and that other things are not permeable to
Right.
that, to your heart. And that's really like in the choosing of the content, it's that you're taking in, because we're all kind of subject to it at this point. It's really important. And we talk to our kids about like the song lyrics that go into their head and how we remember them. I'm like, this is the type of thing that does get under you. It gets in your skin. Like you have to guard it. You have to guard
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just said exactly.
Oh
Why?
yeah, good. And I think the P was planning, which I did not
Planning.
expect. So tell me what you thought about planning.
Some of the things she said not normal planning, not like your checklist and to-do
Yes.
list. And it's a thinking process. And she always talks about asking yourself better questions. If
Yes.
you want a better outcome, ask better questions.
That's right.
And then also processing the answers with God. So you plan, but plan with God. And so like if you're like, I'm miserable at my job, I can't stand it, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so maybe God's put you in this job for a reason. So how would I step into this? Ask God, am I here for a reason? Or how can I look at this differently? Or how
Mm-hmm.
can we talk about emotions. How can I react? Not even really react, it's responding differently with what's going on in the workplace or friendship or relationship, whatever your circumstances are. So
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the asking better questions. And um there was somebody had just we were having a conversation, and I said, I said something about God, and this person's reaction was, well, if your God is so good, why would that happen?
Why do bad things happen? Yeah.
And I just I became kind of like defensive,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't even know if I want to talk to this person anymore. But having the conversation with the other person, she's like, well, maybe you continue a conversation and plant those seeds, because maybe you'll have a conversation and you'll answer her question, and she will then go, oh, okay, so instead of me getting my hackles up, what do you mean? So it's just, asking better questions, and going to God, and planning things out with him.
Yes, yes. And I think the thing that stuck out with me for planning was the planning to be more versus the planning to do more.
Yes.
Um, so that we can be fulfilled where we are and on the way to where we want to go. And you can live in that great experience every single day. But it does take humility to admit
Yeah.
that you can't be right all the time.
Oh,
Which here's the problem, okay? Problem is moms are usually right 98.975% of the time. Okay. So moms get verification of being right all the time because, oh, it's in there. Okay, no, it's not. Okay, I'm gonna go find it. Yes, it is.
yeah.
So there's a tough balance of that, of actually like how much are you normally right versus the being willing to give up not being right,
Yeah.
and submitting to God what you want, that you want your plan and his plan aligned so
Yeah.
that you're going down the track, not towards the wall,
Oh, no.
together.
Yeah. And that's a
Exactly.
hard one. That's a hard one when I sit in the morning and I'm like, okay, start making my list. I'm like, okay, wait, God, what are we gonna do today?
Yeah, what are we doing today
Where do you want me to
together?
focus?
Yes.
And what are we going to accomplish? And
Yes.
always, you know, doing it that way. So otherwise, when I don't, my day is like, I don't know what happens.
You have to turn the TV on at the end of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
very cool, very cool. And then we have our A, which, if you can't guess, would be action, based on all of these JOPs. And it's inspired action. Um, it's not the doing.
Right.
It's the being different.
Yeah.
And,
And
so it's those actions, the actions of being different. And
and
that
then
was what, like, oh, I'm like, oh, I'm so good at like doing what's in front of me, but how do I be different? You know, what
and
did
I
you
like
get there?
she says inspired is in spirit.
Yes,
So your inspired actions are in
with
spirit with
God.
God.
Yes, in the spirit.
Yes.
Correct. Mm.
And one other thing that said, and this is always, she said this to me before, because when you take action, like you hear a message from God and he says, do this, and then I'll sit back and go, well, let me wait. Let me think about that. Let me
Is
wait on,
that me talking or God talking?
yeah.
And like, yeah,
And it's that delayed action is still disobedience. And that's
it
always
is.
a hard one because deep down I know that I should be doing it, but I always like do that little two-step hesitation, like we're having
And,
a little dance. And I'm like, but what about, but
yeah.
that's not quite what I wanted to do today.
Should I test that? Can you confirm that for me?
Yeah. But if I take time to do that, Lord, then I'm going to miss out doing this. And it's like, no.
That's not what I said. Right. So funny. But overall, the whole episode was really about finding joy where you are and the exercise of figuring out or learning how to get to that joyful place now
No.
without anything changing around you.
Yeah.
Choose your joy and then live in that, because those are
Yeah.
your choices with God. And so that just was so inspiring. I think everyone who hears this and goes and listens to it
Yeah.
is going to be laughing along with us with the race car um, analogies and whatnot. But I'm excited to get everyone's like feedback on like
Feedback.
what
Yeah.
they got out of it, because it's funny that you and I will pick up on certain different portions of podcasts. Like you'll pick up a whole thing and then I'll be like, this isn't about that. And then it gets to that at like the halfway point and I'm like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand. And then I totally
Yeah.
identify with a whole different part of it, right?
Yeah.
So
I
everybody gets something different because it's where you are in your journey. But I am so grateful for you all tuning in to God's Vibes Gals, and we will have another episode coming up for you soon. Thank you.
I
Oh goodness.
yeah.
And Susie wants to talk about something.
My hands up, Nicole, my hands up, Nicole. So, I do want to say, in the show notes, there will be the Courage Co link,
Yes.
and we are uh, opening up the SDS coaching is
Yep,
coming up.
spirit-driven success coaching. So it's
Coaching,
really what we needed when we couldn't find it is
right?
spirit-driven success. Yep.
Yes, and that's applications are coming up, and they start July 7th. And if any of you men are out there listening to this, we do
Oh, the
now
courageous
have
men. Yes.
Courageous Man within Courage Co. And yes, no ladies allowed. It's it's all men. And it's just, stepping into your God, what God's given you, being a spiritual leader of your family, and I don't know because I have not been in there because I am not a man, but I've heard that it's just been amazing for the guys that are in
Yes, it was apparently fire the last couple
there.
of
Yeah.
episodes. So fun.
So
Yeah, we
fun.
have so much going on and cooking in the background
Yes.
at Courage Co. So definitely be thank you, Susie, for jumping in with that.
And what does Juliana always, well, she doesn't say it in these older episodes because Courage Co. was not, it was
In place.
still
That's right.
in the building phase. But what does she say now? If you're not in Courage Co., what are you doing?
That's right. Because I can assure you, it's definitely a place where you get really well aligned with
Yes,
Christ in your life,
yes,
and it's an amazing transformation.
yes,
So, thank you again for
yes,
tuning in to God's Vibes Gals. And Susie and I are greatly appreciative of your comments and your questions. So, feel free to comment away, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
yes.
Bye.
Hi.